everybody. Well, it's Wednesday and I'm Kelly and I'm back here again. So we're going to try for the umpteenth time. I swear, I think it's probably the 10th time that we've, had to have problem. We've had so many problems. Sorry, I can't speak this morning, with our connection and everything. And so with the last one crashing, of course, I called Shaw right away, and I think the fellow from Shaw is actually going to be watching this to see if it's working. So if you're there, hi. And I really hope that this works. So anyway, so it is pouring rain out there and nasty and cold. And so this afternoon, I think I'm going to just head home and kind of hunker down and maybe make some jewelry. We're going to do some free make and takes in the store over the Christmas season because everybody's so busy at Christmas time. So we don't want to book a whole pile of classes where, people are forking out a lot of money. So, hey, Jean, thanks for joining me. You're number one here today. Let's hope we get a few more people popping on. So are you starting to make some of your Christmas jewelry, Jean? Or do you make Christmas gifts with jewelry? I don't really do a lot for Christmas presents any longer. We've kind of opted out in our family. We just do like a group buy. We buy one present worth about $35 and all the adults exchange. And we just buy for the little grandkids and that's it. Because, everybody's got everything and it was just getting kind of crazy. So, but I still like to participate in, fun things of Christmas, a little bit of the decorating and that kind of stuff. So anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do this afternoon is I'm going to take home some projects and I'm going to come up with some of the free make and takes because people really seem to like those. They like the idea of just, not really having to pay for a class and come in and learn a really easy technique. So, you're doing some craft fairs. Have you been doing any now? How have they been going? I think you told me that you've got one coming up. Is it this weekend? I know I asked on Instagram and maybe on Facebook who's doing craft fairs and stuff because I've been trying to attend some of them this year. I went to another kind of an antique one this last weekend out in Abbotsford, and it was really cool. And there was a couple people that shop here that were there. So it's really fun seeing everybody. I love seeing what everybody makes, and I really enjoy seeing how people display their all their wares. And if you're new to doing craft fairs, go to some of the nicer ones and see how people set up their booths and get inspired by it because it really does make a difference how your booth presents itself, I think anyway. So, you're in Riverside on Saturday. Well, good luck, Jean. I'm teaching on Saturday, so I won't be able to come by and see you, but I hope you make oodles of cash. So, and have some fun while you're doing it. That's the main thing. Okay, so today I wanted to take a couple things that we have in the store and just kind of mix it up a little bit. So we've had this Bookchain. That's what they call it, Bookchain. I don't know why they call it Bookchain because it doesn't look like a book to me. But it's a really heavy kind of, it looks very kind of medieval to me. But it's a nice heavy chain and it works best if you're making it kind of like a choker, which would look hideous on a person with a big neck like mine. But Riverside Secondary and Poco. Okay. You know what? I can maybe sit out there after in the afternoon. I might try and get by. We'll see. So we're going to use this book chain today, and I'm going to make a bit of a shorter necklace, and I'm going to make a 2-layer necklace. And then we've got these little acrylic leaves, and we have them in green and blue. This is kind of a nice soft pastel blue, and we have them in... Do we have them in purple? I think purple and in clear, and they're only like 30 cents a piece. They're super cheap, but they're really cute. You can make cute little earrings, but I'm going to put some on a necklace and make some little things on them and just kind of experiment a bit. These would also be great if you didn't really like the color. You could actually take some of the patina paints. I'm into the patina paint thing now. So really, if you don't like something, change the color of it with patina paint. So you could change the colors, but I thought what I'm going to do today is I'm going to mix warm and cool together. I quite often tend to stick to warm and cool, but I thought why not? We can mix it up a bit, right? So that's what we're going to do today. And then we have about 5 or 6, I think, of these different, these are beaded chain. They're very delicate and they tend to twist a little bit when we're not careful with them. But these are beaded chain. They come from India, and I don't know if you can see. I'm going to try and get one of these links up close. You see how tiny those links are? So some poor little person in India sits there and hand wraps all these links. My husband and I call those short straw jobs. Somebody drew the short straw. I can't even imagine. I mean, I know that it gives somebody a job over there, which is fantastic. And then I love to support people that are, trying to make a buck. But I can't imagine having that for a job, making those all day long. But anyway, I'm going to layer the chain with this really fun beaded chain. It's really nice and delicate. It looks really cute when you put it on. Like even you could just make like a simple bracelet with it, and it's all ready to go. Speaking of bracelets, look at that one that I made last night. We had our diamonds in the rough, and I did it in black and blue, and it kind of matches. You can't really see so well, but it matches the new top that I bought. But I love that one. I wear mine a lot, the other one that I have, the gray one, but I really like the black and blue one. So I'm all hooked up today. So let me try and crank you down here. Oh, you love that chain, Jean? Yeah, me too. It's pretty. You never know what to do with some of these chains though, right? So, all right. Sorry for the jiggles. Got to try and... Well, I'll see if I can, Jean. I'll do my best to try and come. Yeah, you never know. Okay, I'm trying to find the sweet spot here. Okay. I think I've got to lower this down a little bit. Nope, that's going up. And then I can tilt this a bit more. Can you guys see that? That looks pretty good there, I think, right? Yeah, it's always that trying to... Oh, there. I'll just push a little further away. That's better. So I think, when I'm going to do close-up work, I'll show you what I'm going to do. But I actually have a little bust here today that I brought. Because this is going to be a shorter necklace, I might have to actually, form it on here to try and get it to lay properly. So that's why I brought the little bust. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm actually going to find my center, which I think is somewhere down there. Let's see. That's about center there, close enough. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of wire. I've got some 24 gauge craft wire here, and I'm going to just make some little squiggly things with it. So, do you ever see, these remind me of grape leaves, and grapevines kind of have those little squiggly things on them. So I'm going to cut, I don't know, what's that? 1, 2, 2.5, 3 inches, something like that. So I'm just going to take my round nose plier, and I'm just going to create like a little simple spiral. And it doesn't have to look pretty or anything because we're going to be pulling it apart. So I'm going to just spiral it. And these don't all have to be the same size, or they don't even have to look the same. So, and then what I'm going to do, so I've done like a little, you see that, like a little spiral on the end. And then what I'm going to do, I've left a little bit on the end there. Can we see that? Maybe better without my hand there. So I've got about a 1/2 inch left over. I'm now going to take that end and I'm going to roll it towards what I just made. And I'm just going to keep rolling and kind of make like a little, almost like a little split ring, because I want to hang that off of the leaf and I don't want it to fall apart. So, and then I'm going to kind of pull this open a little bit. So, and kind of make it look a little imperfect by sort of moving it around. So you see now we've got this little thing, and it's not straight, it's kind of bent, and that's what I want. I want it to have some movement. I don't want this poker straight thing. So then when I put it up here with a jump ring after, it's going to be kind of hard to show you at this point, but it's going to kind of look like that. And it's just going to give it another little bit of dimension, okay? So I've got another little piece of wire here that I had already cut. Where's that? Yeah, that is the same wire. So I'm going to do the same again. So when I start, I want to make sure, oops, where'd that fly off to? Oh, there it is. So I want to make sure that I don't have too much wire poking through there. And I'm just rolling upwards, like up towards the thicker part of the pliers. And so far, so good. We have not lost connection today, so I'm really hoping it stays that way. Okay, so now I've got my little end there. And this one's going to be a little smaller looking. That's okay, though. I think I'm going to make it just a little tiny bit bigger. And then I'm going to hold it this way and take my little end and roll it towards the little coil. And that's going to make my little sort of almost spirally thing to hold on to. So there we go. There's another little one. So I think I'm going to put 5 of these on here. I think that might be pretty good. So there's 2 of those. So I just have to make another couple of them. And I thought if we have some time, I might even make a little pair of earrings, because you know how much I love making earrings. And I've been dying to make a pair of earrings with these little acrylic leaves. Tiara Cast has a really cute tutorial, I think, or kit, maybe it is, where they use these leaves in green. It's really adorable. And I've always liked them, and it's kind of funny. When I ordered them in, oh, hey, Julie. Oh, you like the colors? Good. Yeah, I'm doing cool and warm today. So when I ordered these in, I ordered them from China, and when you order them in, you order them by the gram. So it said, you know, like 200 grams of these things or something like that. And I thought, oh, okay, yeah, you know, they're moderately priced, and 200 grams seems like enough. Well, I thought 200 grams would give me a little bag like this with maybe, you know, I don't know, like maybe 100 pieces or maybe even 50 pieces. The bag came and it was literally like this, stuffed full. And it looked like what I would say something looks like it's got 10, like a 5-pound bag of sugar. That's what it looked like, a 5-pound bag of sugar full of these things. And I think there's probably 10,000 of them in there. What do you think, Julie? 10,000? We kind of all looked at each other because I bought them in every color under the rainbow. And I went, well, I guess I better sell them cheap and get some projects made with them. So that's why I'm doing this today, because you know, they sit there and then people don't know what to do with it. So, okay, I've got my little spiral made, and then I'm going to go back and make my little sort of split ring on the top. And these are fun because they're organic. You pull them out and you make them kind of look imperfect, which is awesome, because who wants to be perfect? So, oh, hi, Faye. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the colors are kind of fun today. All right, so I got my message out, Faye, to everybody about the donations. So we've already got a couple people that have brought some into the store. So we're hoping to give the women's or the education center a big pile this year. We gave a pretty good donation last year, so we're really hoping that we get a nice big donation this year to give. So. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, I think everybody that's on right now knows what I'm talking about, but we're going to do a bit of a jewelry donation for people that might not get anything else at Christmas. So I really think it's important to give back, and I've always been like that. So, oh, I need a drink of water. I hear or feel a cough coming on. I still haven't got the coughing thing figured out yet. It's driving me bonkers. Now they think I have adult onset asthma. Like, okay, can we just make a decision and stick to it? But at least I'm not allergic to the pups. Okay, so now I've got my 5 little squiggles that I've made, and I guess we're going to start making this. So I've got some oval jump rings that I'm using today because I didn't want anything too heavy, and I needed something that was going to be long enough and flexible enough and go through these little things. And we just happen to have some really nice Tiara Cast. Let's make sure that's about the halfway mark, or maybe some really nice Tiara Cast jump rings that are oval, and they just kind of fit perfect, which is nice. Oh, I guess I'm 1 over on there. That's good enough. Okay, so I've popped my little jump ring through the leaf, and then I'm going to take one of these little squiggles. That's the technical term. Do you know that? And I'm going to try and get that on there. I really could stand to use just a little bit larger jump ring, but we don't have anything that isn't super heavy. So now it's all like kinking out all over the place, but that's okay. That's the idea of this, is to make it imperfect. So that's what we've got so far. It's hard because the camera's on a weird angle, but you can kind of see what we've got happening there. Okay. So now I just have to figure out where to put the next one. So I think I'm going to go over. Do I want them close? let's see. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Or do I want it over at the 4 mark? I think at the 4 mark. I like that better. I think it was too close at the 3. What do you think? Think that's good? I don't want them all jammed up there. Okay, so maybe I'll try and put the squiggle on first and then pop it through the little leaf. 4. Okay, thanks, Julie. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, it's funny when I go to, come up with these videos, it's actually getting harder and harder for me every week because I have too many ideas now. And yesterday I was like making myself bonkers. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I grab materials from the front and I think, okay, I can do this. And then I come back here and go, no, I don't want to do that. And then change my mind 25 times. So I finally just grabbed this stuff and said, this is what I'm doing. And I'll just come up with something. You would think that it would be easy when you have a store, but sometimes it can make it a little bit harder. I'll adjust all those little guys after because when I put it up on the bust, then I can adjust it a bit more. So, and remember, when you open and close a jump ring, you're always going to go back and forth this way. You're never going to go that way because you don't want to break the neck on it, right? Okay. Well, it looks like we might have solved our problems. So what we were doing last week that made a difference was, unfortunately, Colleen was doing some work on the website and she was uploading some stuff. And I guess you can't upload while I'm doing this, which is considered an upload. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we talked to this very nice man from Shaw, and he had an ability to figure it out, and so that's what we surmised. So we're not doing anything back here. So Colleen's not even sitting back here today because I'm like all hands off the computer. And it seems to be working much better. So, yeah, Faye, you know what it is, the creative process. Like, I mean, how many of you, grab parts X, Y, Z and think, oh, I'm going to make this, 2, 3, 4. And then it completely turns into something polar opposite to what you thought, but maybe even like it. Or you're grabbing some parts and then you think, well, this looks like a dog's breakfast. I think that happens to most of us. People assume because I've been making jewelry for a long time and because I can make some pretty decent jewelry, toot my own horn there, I guess, that it all comes really easily to me. And it kind of does in a way, but not really, in that because I have to try it just as hard as everybody else, right? I have to, play around with things. And sometimes I get a brilliant idea and then go, okay, that really stunk. So, okay, so far we've got, and again, we've got a really funny angle on this, but this is what we've got so far. And I'm going to put it on the, I'm actually going to attach the back on it, and I'm going to put it on the mannequin thing here, my little bust, and then I'm going to re-angle the camera so you can see the next part. So I'm using a big, heavy jump ring because I've got to try and get it through that whole piece of Bookchain, which is really heavy duty. And now, I should have taken this off before. When you buy our toggle sets in the store, we're now connecting them because we were finding that people were not bringing the right connections together. And so now we're spending the time in putting jump rings on them. So, okay, so I'm going to use a big one because I need to orient that the right direction. And then I'm going to use another oval one, open it up that way, and I'm going to put it through this way. So that's going to now orient my toggle in the right direction. Can everybody see what I'm doing? And I'm a little bit further away than normal. But yeah, this chain is beautiful, isn't it, Faye? It's called Bookchain. But I mean, you could make a fabulous bracelet with it. You can do all sorts of things. I just thought I've got to start using this stuff because honestly, nobody buys it because I don't make a lot of samples with it. So, all right, so now I'm going to do the same on the opposite end. I'm going to put my jump ring on. Now, one of the things that I always talk about is the mechanics of making jewelry. So if I was just to put the toggle on this way, you see how the toggle would be laying sideways? We don't want that. when we put this on, we want it to lay nice and flat. And the only way that we're going to get it to lay nice and flat is by orienting everything the right way. And nothing bugs me more than when I see somebody making jewelry and they don't look at the mechanics of how it's made. It really frustrates me. You know, I don't like it when I put things on and they don't look right because they're laying funky. When I had my jewelry business, there, see that how that lays now in the same way as the chain? When I had my jewelry business, I used to make a prototype of something and then I would tell my daughter to put it on and dance. I would say jump around and act like a lunatic, which wasn't hard for her. But I just said jump around and act like a lunatic for a while because when she came down, I wanted to see where that piece was laying. Does that make sense? You know, so I think it's really important when you're making jewelry, especially if you're making it for others. Okay, I'm not sure about those side ones because but I don't know. I'll ask you guys in a sec here what you think. So I'm going to tilt this back up. Hello. And I'm going to wheel this back down. I miss working with my daughter. It was fun. She used to do all kinds of crazy things. So, oh no, that's still not getting it there. Okay, move some of these things. Okay, I'll just hold it up. So, what do you think? The color seems to be going in and out on that. Maybe it's because it's trying to focus. Do you like that so far? So you see I've got the little squiggles, and these top ones are falling down a little bit. You think maybe it'd be better with just 3? I don't know. I kind of like the 5 on there. I think I'll leave the 5 and just not worry about the squiggles. Maybe what I'll do is on these ones, I'll kind of bend them so that they're going back the other way. Oh yeah, that's a little better. Now it's kind of going back the other way, and you know, maybe it's just supposed to fall the way that it falls. Yeah, I think that's okay. Jean says 3, Faye says 5. Well, I guess if you make one yourself, you can do whatever you like with it, right? It's always going to, you know, everybody's going to have a different opinion. So then what I thought I was going to do is I'm going to take some of this. Now the color's changed again. I guess it's because it was really, it was trying to focus in on that. So I'm going to take this really fun pre-made chain that we get from India, and it has the teeny tiniest of little loops there. So what I'm going to do is take some of those oval jump rings, and I'm going to attach it just to the top of this. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to put it on the mannequin so that you could see what I was about to do now. So I'll try and drop that down, and sorry for the jiggles. There, maybe you can see that a little bit better. So you won't be able to see exactly, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one end of this. Now the only problem with this is that the loops are really, really tiny. So it's hard to get anything but a small jump ring in there. And the other thing is you lose a loop every time, or a bead every time you cut it because of the way that it's constructed. So I'm taking this jump ring and I'm attaching it just to that jump ring up at the top. Actually, yeah, I can add it to that one, or should I add it there? I think I'm going to add it to the jump ring of the necklace, not the one that I added on the back, because I don't want all that, the mechanics of things to get monkeyed up. So I'm just going to attach it there. So it'll kind of be in one. So can you, oops.